Good day everyone, welcome back, and we're back at it again with another trade rumour draft video, and today we're tackling the rumour that could help Carlton's backline out. We're looking at none other than Hawthorn's Changkuoth Jiath, or CJ as we've come to affectionately know him, and he's been linked away with a move to the club, and evidently, according to Sam McClure, Carlton are right in the conversation. Now, we're going to look at why Carlton may chase him, why would Hawthorn let him go, and what CJ could bring to the Blues. Let's deep dive into the data and run that intro. Carlton's 2025 season was weird is an understatement. At their best, the Blues looked very solid, but too often that backline got exposed in transition, but particularly in its ability to generate scores. Jacob Weitering is an absolute rock. Nick Newman was missing. Adam Saad, not the usual same. And a lot of young players having to come in there. But beyond that, Carlton have had to make shift roles. You've seen Ollie Holland deployed down there. The indecision of Mitch McGovern's contract. And now Harry O'Farrell will miss 2026, who was the bright spark down there. Harry Dean is coming in. But with no Jack Silvani, there is a lot of pressure on a handful of defenders. And the numbers show it too. Carlton conceded scores from nearly 46% of opposition inside 50s. That's bottom six. Their defensive 50 exit to score rate, well below AFL average. And they were one of the slower backlines for metres gained off halfback, and heavily reliant on a few players with a massive hole in it. That exactly is what CJ brings, and that makes it incredibly intriguing. Now, CJ has debuted in 2019. He's in the mid-20s. He's a nice size. He's built his reputation of being incredibly athletic, incredibly quick. And the data profile kind of mirrors where Carlton want a player or a sort of player of that ilk coming from that third halfback spot. 380 plus metres per game. That's top tier. Strong at the intercepts. Defensive one-on-one. That's probably the big sticking point. It's around 50%. Ball use isn't around them early 70s, late 60s, so it's not elite, but what he brings is his ability to attack the game, drive you from defence, and that is kind of a perfect fit for Carlton. CJ is basically a slingshot. He looks to be aggressive, turn defence into attack, and Carlton do have a lot of defensive first defenders. There has been some catches though. Soft tissue injuries have limited his consistency, and this is probably why he's found himself pushed out by some real strong backline members at Hawthorn. So why would Carlton be interested? It comes down to role again with upside. These are the kind of deals that if you can get the body right, you are winning. CJ, for me, is a natural McGovern upgrade, a mobile intercept defender who can really turn the game on, and he's younger. The issue is that Carlton have got players coming in. Harry Dean, players like that. But Carlton's defence too often can win its battles. It doesn't do anything in territory chains, going coast to coast, and particularly caught on the overlap because of their slow ball movement. CJ thrives in these moments, breaking lines, creating overlap run. The thought of pairing CJ with one of our young bucks on that half line does make it look like a genuine slingshot threat. Add Newman into that back line, who is a defensive weapon but himself a good ball distributor. Carlton could really change their market. Carlton averaged just 23 rebounds per game. That's bottom half of the AFL. CJ could actively help push that up. Carlton only have two defenders that consistently get 300 metres gained with score production. Structurally, it could transform Carlton's back six. Weitering locks down. Newman takes the small. Cowan and co working with him. CJ, if he could play loose, could be the little rabbit in the hole that Carlton are desperately needing. But why would the Hawks let him go? Well, two reasons. The development of Weddle, Scrimshaw, Hardwick, Battle, they have got a depth, an absolute depth of class of players. CJ is in that prime category. They've got, the truth be told, they've got a plethora, like we said. He's at that beautiful age, 26 years old. He's contracted till 2027, so it's not really a need to sell, but Hawthorn probably would look at getting rid of him for the right price. And CJ will want opportunity, he wants to play. He's been deployed in the finals as a sub to varying degrees of success when they've pinch hit him in there. So what does the trade look like? This is a real fascinating one because it screams a second rounder. You look at some of the players that have gone there, CJ's in that prime of his career. Back-ended deal. This could definitely be a make-way in like a 3-way trade. I think this is probably something like a future second and a third pick swap, something like that, and something that could really benefit them, particularly if Hawthorn are in the market. These picks, when people say, oh, he's worth a first pom, that's kind of crazy talk. This could be the missing jigsaw piece for Hawks to snag one of their top-line midfielders that they want. Now, how does he fit Carlton? Think about Voss's blueprint. He loves the stoppage. They're strong around that. They've got some real strong targets up forward. The defence is heavily relied on its ability to absorb pressure and stop scores. The issue and the missing ingredient is that transition game. Carlton are too slow from the back. They rank bottom 3 for scoreboard chains from there. That affects the midfield. That affects the forward line because the ball doesn't get there naturally. And it hurts them on the defence transition because the ball's not being scoreboard pressure. Teams are piling on. That's where CJ comes in. They've got Wheater in, the general. They've got players like Newman, the organiser. They've got Harry Dean, who will be a top-class interceptor. Carlton haven't got that dynamism that they need to shift that turns you from defence into attack. And without putting lots of pressure on young kids who are untried, CJ, you do know what he gets. So would CJ be the Carlton move that really unlocks this transition? On paper, yes. It fills holes that complement stars, and that is key. Gives them a run and intercept they've lacked, and McGovern is expensive. But the price won't be budget, it will be based on the durability, and that is the question with CJ. Carlton want to transform their backline. In my opinion, they have to go out there and find a halfback that can do it, or someone at least that can rotate it. So what do you reckon, Carlton fans? What would you pay for CJ? Would you prefer him in the side over McGovern? Let me know in the comments. And Hawthorn fans, would you be sad to see CJ leave? Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, see you soon. Loads of content coming. Pom out.
Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.